Okay, thank you. So we'll continue with today's session. So we have done with the polytrichum gametophytic structure in the previous class. So today we are going to do with the gametophytic structure a recap again, and we'll start with the sporophytic structure. So polytrichum, so as I told you that it is the advanced form of the bryophytes belonging to the class Bryopsida, order Polytrichales, family Polytrichaceae. So why we are calling it as the advanced forms? Because the plant is not a thalloid plant body, unlike of Anthoceros and Markensia. It is not like a thalloid plant body, but instead it is divided into two parts, that is the underground or the prostrate growing rhizome and an upright leafy shoot-like structure. So the rhizome, as it is prostrate, growing horizontally on the surface of the ground or sometimes underneath the ground also, and it is a colorless, and it is going to bear small hair brown-like structures, what we call them as the rhizoids. So these are helpful for fixing the plant to the substratum. Go for the upright leafy shoot. It consists of a central axis which develops from the nodes of the rhizome region, and from the central axis, even central axis is also divided into nodes and internodes, and from the nodes we can see the arrangement of small leaf like lanceolate, small leaf like structures which are spirally arranged throughout, that is around the node of the central axis. So as we can see here, the stem like rhizome, upright root leafy structures which are called as the, yeah, so which are called as the lamellae, and the root like structures we call them as the rhizoids. So the complete plant, it appears just like a small miniature plant. So it is going to form the advanced structure when compared to the previous or the lowermost bryophytes. So another important point here we want to discuss is in the advanced characters. When we talk the internal structure in the anatomy of the leaf or in the anatomy of the rhizome, when we take into consideration, here we can see the development of sclerenchymatous tissue, and also we are going to see the development of vascular tissue like structures, what we call it as the hydrome and mantle, so which plays the role of the conduction of water and the phloem in this polytrichum. So polytrichum is considered to be as the connecting link, or it will be evolving into the vascular cryptogam. So this is the evidence by which we can say that polytrichum is an advanced bryophyte, showing the presence of the vascular tissue-like structures called as hydrome and the mantle. Right. So next we are going for the reproduction also. We have done with the reproduction. The vegetative reproduction is always being taken up with the help of a small thyroid filamentous like structure. We call it as a protonema, which has been developed from the spore of the sporophytic generation. And not only that, we can see the fragmentation process is also being carried out. That is the old branches or the, what we call it as the rhizome, when it is detached from the plant, that may give rise to an adult plant again. So that is a fragmentation process. Now when we go for the sexual reproduction, so already we discussed that a polytrichum is a dioecious plant. That is antheridial plant, that is a male plant and a female plant. They both are separate from one another. Antheridial plant can be identified with the help of peculiar antiradial head at the main axis, at the axillary position of the main axis. Okay, so what is this antheridial head? So on the, at the time of sexual reproduction, that is the main central axis at the tip region, at the apical region, develops the antheridia, that is the male sexual organ. So these are protected by the spirally covering of the leaves, which we call them as the perigonial leaves. Now, along with the antheridia, we can also see the development of paraphysis, useful for which are hygroscopic in nature, which will absorb the water and helpful for dispersal of the male gametes, the so-called antherozoids. So this is regarding the antheridial head on the male plant. Next comes to the archegonial head. So just like antheridial head, even the archegonia at the time of reproduction, they are developed on the tip of the central main axis, and which is also being surrounded by the spirally arranged leaves. So, and here these leaves are called as pericytial leaves. Please don't write anything on the screen, please. Right. So the archegonia, they are going to be surrounded by the pericytial leaves, which are the spirally arranged leaves protecting the archegonia. And the archegonia are the flask-shaped structures, which is going to have the basal multicellular stalk. And inside the archegonia, there is a peculiar character of archegonia structure here in the polytrichum. So what we said that is, it is going to have a globose venter, in which ventral canal cell and the female gamete egg cell is provided, and above the venter we can see here a large or long neck with the neck canal cells we can see here. So the neck canal cells is around 6 cells in number, the vertical arranged of the 6 row of cells of the neck canal cells. So the long neck in this and having the cover cells also at the top. So the long neck canal cells or the neck is a conspicuous structure in the polytrichum. Now, so up to fertilization we finished. At the time of fertilization, from the antheridia, the anthrozoids, which are biflagellated, spirally coiled, they are released with the help of the paraphysis, and with the help of the water, they are reaching the female gametophyte and entering into the archegonia and fusing with the egg which is present in the venter and getting transformed into the oospore or the egg, so which is or the zygote, so which is called as the fertilization. Now already with this, till the end of the zygote, the gametophytic generation is completed. Now the zygote will develop into the next generation in the life cycle, which is called as a sporophyte. So the sporophyte structure in polytrichum is little bit complex when compared to the anthoceros and the markantia. So they are very simple over there, but here in this the sporophyte of the polytrichum is also uh, it is also attached to the female gametophytic tissue with the help of foot. So the complete sporophyte of the polytrichum is divided into 3 regions, that is the foot, seta, and the capsule. So foot is the lowermost part of the sporophyte, by which it is attached to the female gametophytic tissue. Now above the foot we can see a long seta, the uppermost part, which we call it as a long seta, useful for conducting the food material from the gametophytic tissue. And above the seta, there is a conspicuous or a well-developed third region, which is called as the capsule. So here we are going to start with the study of the sporophyte. So the mature sporogonium here, it is differentiated into foot, seta, and the capsule. Okay, let me show it there. I'll go with the another, this one, right. So it is surrounded by, so when we talk about the capsule, The capsule is surrounded by the capsule region is a complex structure which is divided into three regions again. So it is called as the apophysis, and the operculum, the lid, which is called as the operculum, and the hypophysis. So I'll stop share here first, then I'll go for the another slide. One second. Yeah. So I'm just start sharing again. Okay, I don't think so. You can see the. Okay, 1 second. There is a problem over here. Yes. So I'm just start sharing this again. Can you see the screen? Anybody, please? Can you see the screen over here? Please respond, anybody?
Yes.
No?
Yes, ma'am. We
Can you see this again?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to study with the structure of the sporophyte. So we told you that the sporophyte of the polytrichum, it is divided into three regions. One is called as the foot, seta, and the capsule. So foot is the lowermost part of the sporophyte, where it is attached to the gametophytic tissue of the female plant and useful for the uh, providing or the attachment, which is called as the basal bulbous region. So whereas the seta here, the seta is very small in compared to the Okay, so we'll go with this. Yeah. So here the foot is the buried or the deep tissue in the gametophyte. It is useful for absorption and the fixation. So seta, it is about several inches long. It carries a capsule at the tip of it and useful for the conduction of the food material. So what I told you, capsule is a very peculiar character in the polytrichum. So it appears just like a small cup-shaped structure with a lid. Okay, when we observe the plant body also, the capsule can be seen very clearly. It is a macroscopy. We can see with our naked eye. So the capsule region, this is the uppermost or the third region, which is divided again into three parts, which is called as a basal apophysis, the central theca region, and the upper operculum or the lid. So these are the three main important parts of the capsule region. So I'll show you here the structure of the capsule. So this is a capsule. Okay, so this from here to here. So this is a basal apophysis region which is present just above the seta to which it is attached. This is a basal apophysis. This is the central complete theca region, and this is the operculum or the lid. So here theca region is most important in the capsule because in this theca region you can see the presence of two sac-like structures or two bag-like structures you can see over here. This is called as archisporial sac or spore sacs we call it as. So in which the archisporial mother cells will be there. So these archisporial mother cells, they will be undergoing meiotic division and forms the spores. So when we talk, so as it is containing, this theca region is considered as the most important or the fertile part of the capsule region, useful for producing the spores. And here in the central part of the complete sporophyte is represented as the columella region, useful for which is a connection from the seta region to the capsule, helpful for conducting the food material from the gametophyte to this entire capsule region. Now above this you can see the a lid-like structure here which is called as the operculum. So this is exactly playing a role of just like a lid of a jug. Okay, having the presence of a row of peristomial teeth, so which are hygroscopic in nature. They are helpful for fixing the lid to the theca region. So we'll see that points here. So here we are talking about the first region of the capsule, which is called as apophysis. So it is the lower part of the capsule, continuous with the seta. So it is in the form of a just small swollen ring. And here the cells are very thin walled and loosely arranged and useful for photosynthesis. So the second region, what we talked about, it is the theca region, the central middle part of the capsule, very much important. It is several layered, having the outer epidermal tissue, and internally you can see the presence of two spore sac wall, which is two layered. Now, on either side of this spore sac, we are going to see the presence of the air spaces, which are being these are A spaces, whatever present on either side of these spore sac, they have been paralleled with the trabeculae, the cells which are long multicellular in structures, which are just playing a role of a shock absorbers of a bite. That is, they are protecting the spore sac with by the any environmental conditions, like suppose if there is a harsh wind or any environmental factors that is causing the damage to the spore sac. So these trabeculae which are present, so I'll just show you the picture over here. So you can see here, these are somewhat A-shaped structures connected to the central spore sac. So these are called as the trabeculae. So they are playing a role of giving protection to the archisporial tissue or the spore sac not to get damaged. So they will be connected to that, by which if there are any shocks, something like that from the environmental conditions, the that will be taken up by the trabeculae and the spore sacs are being protected. So that is a very important point here. Trabeculae are the cells which are connecting to the spore sacs, helpful for giving protection to the central spore sac regions. And the central part of the theca is occupied by the columella. So this columella is acting like a conducting tissue of the food and the water. Now the third region we are talking about is a operculum. So this is the uppermost part of the capsule, which is somewhat conical in shape, and it is going to covered with a protective layer again, which is called as the calyptra. Now, so in this operculum, there is a constriction like, so you can see here. So this is the constriction, we call it as. Okay, we press towards inner side at the connectivity of the theca to the operculum. So that is called as the rim or the diaphragm. So in this above the ring, in this operculum region, we can see, I told you now, we can see the presence of peristomial teeth-like structures which are attached to the uh, rim region or the diaphragm region of the operculum. So these peristomial teeth, they are going to help in proper fixing of the lid or this operculum to the theca. So just like a lid, how we are fixing a lid to a jug. In the same way, this peristomial teeth, they will help in proper fixing of the operculum to the theca region. And when the spores are going to be formed, that is when the archisporial mother cells undergo reduction division and the spore tetrads are ready, at that time, the peristomial teeth will lose the water. I told you they are hygroscopic in nature. They will lose the water and they become very much dry enough. So when they are becoming dry, the operculum or the lid region becomes very loose enough so that the lid gets opened very easily and the spores which are present inside are released into the surrounding environment. So it plays a role of just like a fixer to the theca region. So you can see here, when the dispersal of the spores, how the spores are dispersed into the surrounding environment. So this is occurring due to the epigram or the what we call it as the ring or the peristomial teeth. They dry up when during the dry conditions. So due to which it gets separated from the operculum and the peristomial teeth will also get dry up and the lid becomes very free enough to release the spores into the surrounding environment. So these spores, they are dispersed by the wind and when they fall on the substratum, they'll give rise to a new gametophytic tissue. Now, the spores, how they are yellow in color, they are uninucleate, haploid, and consisting of an outer layer which is called as exine and the inner layer called as the endospore. Now, these spores, when they fall on the substratum, they are not directly germinating and producing into the adult thallus, but it is going to form a new young thallus, what we call it as the protonema. So protonema is the youngest gametophytic tissue through which it will germinate and develops into a new plant again. So you can observe here, this is the life cycle of the polytrichum. So we have a recap again, we can see here. So this is the male gametophytic tissue as polytrichum is dioecious. So this is a male gametophytic tissue. which is going to consist of a rosette of antheridial head, and this is a female gametophytic tissue having here also the archegonial head. So antheridial head comprises of antheridia and the paraphysis, whereas the archegonial head consists of the archegonia. So at the time of fertilization, antheridia will release the anthrozoid. So you can see here the spirally coiled anthrozoid biflagellated. They will reach the archegonial cover cells or the neck region, and they will migrate into the venter, fuses with the female gamete, and results in the formation of the next generation starting point, what we call it as the zygote. So up to the fertilization, the gametophytic generation will end. So from the zygote, so the zygote will undergo several developmental stages and results in the formation of a sporophyte. Now this sporophyte, I told you, it is comprising of three regions: foot, seta, and the capsule. So capsule is the most important part here in the sporophytic generation, and this capsule consists of the basal apophysis. This is the theca region, and this is the upper operculum or the lid-like structure. So in the theca, you can see this is the archisporial sac, and here this is also, you can see how many number of spore sacs in the theca region. There are 2 spore sacs which are connected with the shock absorbers like structures, what we call them as the, what they are called as, they are the trabeculae, and the central part is the columella, helpful for conducting, and the in the operculum region attached, so there is a constriction of the operculum with the theca, that is called as the rim or the diaphragm. So from them we can see the presence of the peristomial teeth, which are arranged in the form of a ring from one end of the rim region to the another end of the rim region. So these peristomial teeth, they are mostly hygroscopic and helpful for dispersal of these spores into the wind region. And next comes to the, when the spores are mature, they are due to the loss of water from this peristomial teeth, it is get loose enough, the operculum lid will get loose and it will thrown out, and all the spores are dispersed into the wind region. So out of these spores, some of these spores will form the male young protonema, and the remaining spores are transformed into, or it will germinate into the female young protonema. So what is protonema? It is a thalloid filamentous structure producing the rhizoids at the base and the leafy shoots at the upright position. So this young protonema will develop into a, the male protonema will develop into the male plant, and the female protonema will develop into the female plant. So this is regarding the haplon. So here we can see the haplodiplontic life cycle, and the male gametophytic tissue will alternate with the female gametophytic tissue. So this is regarding the structure of the polytrichum. So here the main points what you people have to remember is regarding the operculum region and the presence of in the operculum, the presence of the peristomial teeth and the diaphragm or a rim region, and peristomial teeth, the role of it is helpful for dispersal of the spores, and in the theca region you people have to remember regarding the 2 archisporial sac-like structures comprising of archisporial mother cells, and these spore sacs are surrounded or attached with the trabeculae. That is the most important point you people have to remember. So these trabeculae will helpful in protecting the theca region, that is the spore region, from the shock, from the environmental adverse conditions. And the apophysis, which is a bulbous basal part of the bulbous basal part of the thecal region, which is green in color. The cells are thin-walled, photosynthetic region, helpful for connecting the food material to the above capsule region. So this is, I'm just stop sharing here. So these are the most important points in the sporophyte of polytrichum you people have to remember. Yeah, so with this, we have ended with all the three type studies of the bryophytes, that is Marchantia, Anthoceros, and the polytrichum, which is there in your syllabus for your competitive exam. And in the next class, we'll look into the evaluation of gametophyte. That is how the lowermost bryophytes, mainly that is Riccia we talk about, from which how the advanced bryophyte and that is the gametophyte, how it is being evolved from a thalloid plant body to an miniature plant body like structure, how they have been evolved. That is the evolution of gametophyte. So that is the topic. We'll look into the picture in the next class. So any doubts to be discussed over here? You're most welcome. Anything to be discussed yet? Please. Or you can pose the questions in your chat box. Anything the point to be repeated? Okay then. So if there are no queries, so we'll end the session now. So thank you very much. Look back for you with you for their next class in the next topic. Thank you very much. చిన్న సెషన్ ఎండ్ చేయొచ్చురా. Participants, you can just leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.